Dear viewers, good afternoon. I'm with CMG. My name is Zhang Zhuoya. Good afternoon. My name is Li Xiang. I'm with CMG. And today we're going to take you on a tour of the Dubai Airshow. And right now we are at the 2023, the 18th Dubai Airshow. This year, the airshow has attracted more than 1,400 enterprises from more than 90 countries around the world, and Chinese enterprises have also sent their representatives to this airshow. We also have a huge number of exhibitors and participants. And right now, we're standing in front of the booth of a company from Fangshan of Beijing. And this year, during the torrential rain, and this company played a very important role. And let me get to this gentleman. Please say hello to our viewers. My name is Chen Chong. I'm from a company in Beijing. So, Mr. Chen, can you take us on a tour of today's air show? What are the main exhibits today? Well, we can start from this side. For our company, we are exhibiting two of the largest unmanned helicopter, and this one has a flying capacity, a loading capacity of 2.5 tons, and it can carry loads. It can also carry passengers. It can transport 6 passengers at one time, and you can even transport paratroopers here on this helicopter. So this is a UAV, and it can play a very important role in transportation, in emergency rescue. And right now, this is the largest of its kind currently used in China. So what is the mileage? Well, in full load, it can transport 5 hours, and to come and go, the two-way mileage is 700 uh, kilometers. So how many hours have you been through in terms of test flight? 300. So what are the implications of weather? Yes, there are some implications if you are talking about a big gust of wind at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour, then you need to be very careful in flying. And we can reach the altitude of 6,500 meters, meaning we can fly in Tibet and also in Xinjiang. So you can monitor the flying conditions of this UAV. Yes, totally. So this year during the function um, torrential rain, it was this UAV that played a very important role. No, it's this one. This one has the loading capacity of 300 kilometers, and it can be used for medical rescue. It has the external pods, which can carry some medical emergency boxes in Fangshan and in Mentogo this year. We had a torrential rain, and we dispatched more than 10 missions within 7 days. We uh, transported some medical supplies and some daily necessities, and that played a very important role this year. And after the disaster, we won several awards. So this one is very competitive because it enjoys a very high level of technical maturity. And we also have another product which is called Edge, but that one has the loading capacity of 200 kilos. So you need product range, and this one is very competitive, and it has the loading capacity of 300 kilometers for 300 kilos for takeoff. So this is one of the biggest UAV currently on the market, and we hope that through this air show we can promote our products to the international market. I have noticed yesterday our booth is very packed. You have attracted a huge number of participants and visitors. And where are they from? Well, we have received participants from more than um, 45 countries, and they are from government, they are from enterprises, they are from the industry, and they also come to our competitor, which is Edge. They compare the different offerings of our products, and we have attracted visitors from Indonesia, from Vietnam, and we also have visitors from European companies. So, can I understand it this way? This one behind us can transport passengers, and this UAV right in front of us can only transport goods. Yes, it has an external medical pod, and well, we can zoom in, and you can see clearly what this medical pod is like. So this is for emergency medical purposes, and it can actually travel. It can actually transport a patient. It can, sorry, it can carry 1 to 2 external pods for medical purposes. So have you reached any intentions of cooperation? Yes, we have been approached by several companies, and some of them are ready to place orders uh, immediately after we reach their conditions. In the Middle East, and there is a very high demand from the market, and right now, more and more people are transitioning to the needs of UAV because it can play a wide range of different roles under different scenarios. It can be used in battles. It can also be used in emergencies. Well, I heard that this is your first time in the Dubai show. Yes, I was at the UMAX Air Defense Show at Abu Dhabi. This is my first visit to Dubai, and it's one of the largest in the whole world. And I hope that I can meet a lot of customers and partners here in the air show. Have you toured around this air show? What is your observation? Well, I think this is very successful in terms of turnout and overall skill. And we have famous enterprises in China. You also have Boeing and Airbus, Lockheed Martin. So all the big names are here, and this is a great experience for you to learn something from this industry. All right. So what is the front side of this UAV? This is very Chinese. This is purely Chinese elements. The Chinese not. And they are loved by our visitors as a souvenir. So this one is very versatile, and you can carry whatever parts that you like, and there's actually no limitations. You can carry a camera, so we don't really have a limitation in this regard, so it can be extended to multiple purposes. So if you install some prospecting cameras and sensors, and you can extend the functionality of this aircraft. And also, it has gone through multiple tests, and we have been tested in very harsh environment, for example, um, pouring rain and very low temperature. So there is a close correlation between our performance and the environment. But I'm saying that we can adapt to different weather conditions. So, what were the external parts that you carried during the function and torrential rain? We were mainly carrying medical supplies and drugs, so we can throw from the air right on the ground. And so we need to have a clear understanding about the situation on the ground. We need to carry cameras and sensors so you know where you're dropping the goods at. For example, if you want to also carry the goods back, you can do that. So airdropping is just one side of our functionality. We have more functions, and you don't need to involve any human operators in the whole operation. So you can customize your functionality, you can customize your routes. You just need to type in your destination and it will be able to fly there, do airdropping, and come back. And also, you can have a remote control to control the flight of this UAV. So it can be autonomous, it can also be semi-autonomous. So you can have human intervention when there is any problem during autonomous control, autonomous flight. Yes, you can. So I believe this is a very good opportunity for Chinese enterprises to showcase their products and offerings. Yes, I sincerely hope that we can demonstrate the Chinese products and our innovation and our technology to the whole world. And I welcome partners and customers to work together with us. So this is one of the largest UAVs in the whole world, and we have another crew, which is which has been waiting at another in front of another aircraft, and let me hand it over to my colleagues later. Dear viewers, good afternoon. My name is Li Chao. I'm with CMG. I'm at the 18th Dubai Airshow. I'm at the outdoor exhibition area, and thank you very much to my colleagues who gave you earlier an introduction about the UAVs. And now let me tell you something about one uh, L-15 training aircraft, which is a made in China product. And to show you more about this product, we are very happy to have with us the senior editor of the military magazine, Mr. Huang. So Mr. Huang will tell us more about L-15, which is a training aircraft. Good afternoon, dear viewers. So Mr. Huang, So you can see there are visitors getting in the cockpit, experiencing this aircraft. And so tell us why this training aircraft is so popular in this air show. So L-15, we call it the Eagle training aircraft, which is the best of its kind right now in China. And if you compare that with other aircrafts for the same purposes, then we have the advantages of being cost effective. We are compatible to all the different types of weaponry system, and this is fully uh, independent. So most of the countries they are good at uh, general assembly and design, but we are talking about a product that is fully independently designed and assembled and manufactured by China, and also it has two configurations. Uh, so this one is for battle entry configuration, and we also have one for a special training. The special training configuration is mainly for training of our pilots, and after flying with our training aircraft, you can become a pilot for real aircraft, real jet flights and jet planes. So, meaning you are prepared to be a pilot for real battles. And we know that UAE has adopted or introduced this aircraft, L-15, in its air shows and also in its training of pilots. I think the performance and functionality of this aircraft has been fully demonstrated, and you can do all types of movement. For example, um, you can do sharp turns, and you can also do somersaults. And so this has been delivered to the uh, Air Force of UAE, and the tapping the potential of this uh, aircraft. And you may be wondering, so why it has such a coating or such a painting style? Well, this is actually unique to UAE. And right now, the UAE Air Force, they're currently using FB339, which is a old sailed training aircraft. After many years of use, they're right now in a period of transition, and so that is why they have chosen L-15 as their flagship training aircraft. And this is also the aircraft that they use for air shows, and we hope that in the coming years, L-15 can become more successful and more exposed to the global audience, due mainly to the use and exploration of the Air Force of UAE. And we learned that it's not just used in UAE. We also have orders from other countries. Yes, UAE is our third customer, and we have shipped to Ethiopia and Mozambique, and they have purchased 18 L-15s. So the UAE, they purchased more than 40 such aircrafts. So I don't know about the specific orders they are going to place in the future, but I can tell you with great certainty that we are going to harvest more and more orders. There is a very strong attitude that they're going to supplement their orders in the months and years ahead. So, because we have attracted a lot of visitors so far at this air show, and the UAE truly has injected more confidence um, on the market. So we can truly make a big hit on the markets, and we can compete with M346, which is the Italian aircraft, and we can also compete with our counterpart in South Korea and in France. So in this air show, we saw L-15. We also saw some very advanced products from other countries. At the Dubai Air Show, what is your general observation? So, do you think the Dubai Air Show is truly playing a dominant role in all the air shows in the world? And do you think it's getting to the position of the Paris Air Show in terms of influence, or in terms of exhibitors and participants? Well, I think the organizer of Dubai Air Show, they want to become the best in the whole world. You talked about the Paris Air Show and also the Moscow Air Show. Those are the top-notch air shows in the whole world, and we are very familiar with these names. And Dubai right now in Asia, I think is already number one, but globally, it still has some space of growth. UAE, for example, and many Gulf countries, and they face some sort of restrictions or limitations in purchasing military aircraft. And there are a number of countries who are not allowed to engage in trade of military aircraft. And UAE actually is one exception in this regard. So I believe we can expect more progress going forward for the Dubai Air Show. So the air show is not just a venue for uh, customers to negotiate about their business needs with the local authorities and manufacturers of the aircraft, and they can also inspire more enthusiasm among the public in this particular industry. So we do share the same vision and hope for the future. And Dubai also has its own plans in terms of exploring the space. So in the future, we are going to continue covering this Dubai Air Show. And before we move on to more about the exhibits, let's have a short break. My name is Zhang Zhuya. I'm with CMG, and standing beside me is Mr. Li, another journalist from CMG. So we are right now at the 18th Dubai Airshow, and right now I'm standing in front of the booth of International Golden Group. So what are the exhibits of North Industrial, which is a leading military equipment manufacturer in northern China? So we have a number of exhibits. You can take a look. We have drones. We have the ground artillery truck. You have the A13 um, rocket missiles. We also have rocket missiles at different diameters, and the largest distance can reach 300 kilometers with a precision of 300 millimeters. And we also have a middle range UAV, which has a takeoff loading capacity of 1,000 kilos. It has a minute of 300 kilometers, and the fastest speed can reach 850 kilometers per hour. And it can work together with A13, and within half an hour, it can fly into a distance that is 300 kilometers away. It can carry out uh, surveillance and also um, long distance checking. And this one can take off from a semi prepared or semi paved tarmac. But traditionally, for large UAVs, you would need a tarmac to take off. So these two, they work hand in hand with each other. So we have the artillery. We can also we have rocket launchers, and we also have a UAV that can spy on the ground of the enemy. So take a look at this one. This is very similar to the a blade, and you can see that we have two different rocket boxes and with different diameters, and this goes along very well with our rocket launcher. And for this air show, we are showing Flying Dragon 60 and Flying Dragon 60A. One is a air cruise rocket missile with a distance of 60 kilometers, and it's using a jet engine, and it can reach zero point 0.4 to zero point 0.6 Mach within the minutes of 60 kilometers, and within 10 minutes, it can arrive at the airspace of the enemy field. It can work together with the artillery and the rocket launcher. It can send back information on real-time basis. On the other hand, it is relying on navigation of the satellites, and we are using dual modules of both the GPS and BeiDou. And when GPS cannot work, we can also use the BeiDou navigation system, which is independently developed by China. And also, when GPS is not working, we can also have a high precision light fiber navigation. Well, you're very professional in your introduction, a lot of jargons, and you said that those two rockets are able to support cruise altitude flights. And what are those? So this is actually a new type of product. It's called patrol missiles or right-wing munition. It can obtain information on a real-time basis. It can send back information. It's also like a missile, and it can fly into the enemy field um, and explode the whole area. So, am I right in understanding this way? So, it does not have a fixed route of flight. Dear viewers, we apologize for the breakup of signal just now. The 18th air show in Dubai is very popular. You can see a lot of people here. And this year, we estimate that the overall participants will outperform our number and that of the previous years. And just now, I took a glance at the comments that you have left below this video. And today we have Mr. Yang who can give us more introduction about the exhibits. Say hello to our viewers, please. Good afternoon. Nice to meet you from Dubai. So earlier we were talking about the cruise missiles, and tell us what is a cruise missile? What functionalities does it have? Well, can you try not to be so professional, not to contain so many terminologies? Well, the cruise missile is a new type of missile. In recent years, it's very popular. So it's in between a missile and a UAV, but it's able to perform both functionalities and it can sense the situation from above, just like a UAV. And on the other hand, it can carry a rocket and hit the targets from the enemy's battlefield. And you can see that it can cruise in the air. How long does it? How long can it hover? Well, this one, for example, it can hover around 30 minutes in front of in the air of the enemy battlefield. This Flying Dragon 60 is using a jet engine and it can reach zero point 0.4 to zero point 0.6 Mach. When it reaches the airspace of the enemy's ground, it can sense the situation from above. It has two modules of navigation, GPS and Beidou. Even when GPS is no longer working, we can use our own navigation system, which is Beidou. So basically, it has two set of navigation systems. Exactly, even when GPS is not working, Beidou navigation will be able to support the cruise missile. So compared to the traditional rocket missiles, and it doesn't need to have a very precise input of target, and it can be carried on many different rocket launchers. And this one, for example, we call it the B Cloud rocket missile. And what does that mean? It means that it can be launched um, in groups in the air, so it will just perform like a group of bees. It is very smart. It can sense the situation from above. It can send back information on real-time basis, and it can set up a formation in the air. It can send back the image on a real-time basis. And this is the S-25 rocket missile. This one can vertically, and this is the battle range 100 square kilometers. So you can see that it doesn't need any extra support. It can take off and land vertically, and it's using a hybrid power system of both electricity and fuel, and it can fly for 8 hours, and it can be used for the army and navy because it can take off vertically from uh, warships. As for UAV, I will hand it over to my colleague. So, Mr. Liu, please say a few words to our viewers. Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure meeting you here from Dubai. So, earlier, Mr. Yang gave you an introduction about the cruise missile and our rocket missiles. let me show you this UAV. It's the real thing is 10 meters long and it's very big, and it has the loading capacity of 450 kilos. So that is the maximum loading capacity for 50 kilos. It can carry a lot of reconnaissance devices and sensors, and also it can take off and land on a warship. So once it reaches the deck, the blades will be folded back, and also it has the hook that goes directly into the surface of the deck, so it can be fixated. So this is some sort of technology that we use for warships in particular, and it has the turbine engine, so which means that it has very good fuel economy, and it's also super safe on a warship. Apart from the UAV used on warships, and we also have fixed wings UAV, which is the white colored one in the distance. So this is the Norinco long distance UAV. So tell us more about it. It can fly like 14 hours. Oh, sorry, this one can fly for 36 hours. So this is just a prototype, a model, a miniature, and the real thing has the wingspan of 18 meters. It can fly 36 hours. It has multiple loading capacities for reconnaissance. It can carry X-ray, infrared array sensors as an external pod. So this pod that we're talking about, and it carries a camera, but the camera you can replace it with uh, different configurations of cameras. So this big round sphere is the real size of the external pod. So this is just the miniature of this UAV, and we're talking about the propulsion of 1 to 5, and you can take a guess, get an idea how big this thing is from this external pod down below. Uh, so this is the size of the external pod, and this is just the camera. So through this reconnaissance external pod, then we can do reconnaissance, we can do uh, precision location, and we can also send out lasers. And this camera, for example, it can take pictures from all the different dimensions. So at the end of the day, you get a 3D imagery of the battleground. So we are able to give you a 3D prospect of the topography of the battleground. And you can also adjust the configuration of this sensor. So from different angles, the photos will look differently, and it can automatically build a model. And at the end of the mission, you get a 3D drawing of the battleground. And this is the radar. It sends out radar waves so as to catch the real topography on the ground. It has the sensing capacity of 60 kilometers. So this is a big radar. Does that mean that it is immune from the impact from weather conditions? Yes, we can handle multiple air conditions. For example, sandstorms, and big wind. So this white component is our electronic warfare component, and it combines communication signals and radar signals. And when our enemy has the radar on, we can automatically switch our radar off. So it can also identify the source of radar waves, meaning it can identify the position of the radars of your enemy. It can very accurately pinpoint the position of your enemy. So this is just like our eyes uh, on the cloud in the sky, and we know where the enemy is without being noticed or spotted by our enemy. So this is a very key component of ours. And this is just like the nerve system of the aircrafts, and it can provide a very accurate um, positioning information of the UAV. So this is the UAV that is on the airship, and we also have the UAVs here, and these are the killer products of North Industrial. Uh, this is our latest missile. It has a range of 18 kilometers. We call it the Blue Arrow, and it's using millimeter waves as a navigation system. This is a cruise missile. It can be launched from an aircraft, and the load can be changed, and this can engage in electronic warfare. It supports 24/7 reconnaissance, and it can also resist radiation. It can even carry a missile to attack the radar of the enemy. So it is able to help form a formation in the air. Here on this side, we have several missiles. So for the missiles, it is propelled by engines in the entire duration of the mission. So cruise missiles, the cost effective, they don't have an engine. So at the same dropping altitude, the cruise missiles, they are much lighter. So in the future, these are the missiles that we're going to carry with our fighters and UAVs. Well, I took a glance at the comments, and everybody is astonished by the extraordinary breakthroughs of technology made by North Industrial, and they give thumb ups to your enterprise, and they are very pleased to see this meaningful progress in technology. So I believe this is not your first time here. So the Northern Industry or Norinco, so has been here for quite a number of times, right? But yes, but this is my first time being here, and last time I think it was mainly due to COVID-19. We did not have a big turnout here at the Dubai Air Show, but this time Norinco truly made a big um, impact, and this is, I believe, the first real appearance after the COVID-19. And each and every day we have 2 to 3 hours of air show. And after this brief trip uh, in the indoor exhibition zone, and later we're going to take you outside to see for yourself the air show. And we also have the August the 1st flight performance, performed by the PLA. Air Force. So as Mr. Yang has mentioned, that the cruise missile is can cruise at the altitude and it can also launch attacks to enemy targets. So this is the FL series loitering munitions or cruise missiles basically. So this is a drawing that tells you how the whole thing works. So Flying Dragon 10 has a range or capacity of 15 kilometers, as Mr. Yang has mentioned. It can be used in combination with the different rocket launchers, and Flying Dragon 5 has the capacity of 75 kilometers, and Flying Dragon 21 has the capacity of more than 200 kilometers. It also has the minute of 3 hours, and it can hover in enemy airspace for 3 hours, and it can, well, to just give you one example, if the enemy um, is having a meeting in a mountain cave and you don't know where they are, but by deploying your flying dragon missiles, and they will be able to fly above the mountain for like 3 hours, and then they will spot the specific location of the enemy military leaders, and then they can launch a missile attack to the right place without even being noticed. We have Flying Dragon 50, which is vehicle mounted, and we also have Flight Dragon cruise missiles just that's launched by a rocket launcher. So is that right that the farther that you go, the less accurate it is? So the loitering munitions, I believe this will be a great area of innovation going forward, and we hope that we can work together with all the manufacturers in the whole world and constantly improve this weaponry in the future. All right, this is all about Norenko, and we are at the 18th Dubai Air Show. So between 13th and 17th of November, the 18th Dubai Air Show is on display, and we have more than 1,400 exhibitors from more than 90 countries present at the Dubai Air Show. And later, I will hand it off to my colleagues who will give you more about this year's Dubai Air Show. The viewers of CGTN, good afternoon. Thank you for staying with us. I'm still at the outdoor exhibition zone of the Dubai Air Show. Thank you very much to my colleagues for covering the wrinkle. I have beside me, Mr. Huang, who can show us more about the exhibits of the host. So behind us is a key weaponry of the Air Force of UAE. So this is the Apache um, helicopter. So take a look at this helicopter. It has a millimeter wave radar at the very top of the rotor, and this is the general configuration of this Apache helicopter. And traditionally, you would use some electronic sensors, but with radar, it can fly in all weathers, even in some foggy weathers, and even at night, it can lock its targets through this radar. And also, it can hide in the bushes or behind hills and valleys, and it just needs to show its radar above the skyline, and it will be able to lock the targets on the ground. And take a look at the cockpit, and it's very fantastically designed. And on both sides of the seat, we have the bulletproof windows. This is can increase the level of safety. And on the side, we also have a pod for guns, and you can install a machine gun on it. And when you are shot down by the enemy, you can still do self-defense with this machine gun, which is the carbine machine gun. Well, see that the staff has just closed the window because I think he sensed that we are filming. And you can see that they have an external pod, which is a very advanced rocket launcher, and we have the rocket missile. It's like a beehive here, and it can accommodate 72 millimeter missiles, which is a very commonly seen uh, weaponry mounted on helicopters. And we also have two Alpha air-to-ground missile, and at the maximum loading capacities can carry 4 such missiles. And right now we have only 2 here, and this is also a very advanced air-to-ground missile. This is the engine. The We have a T700 series a turbine engine, and let's go to the front. It has the comprehensive external pod, which is able to support photoelectric search and check, and it can locate targets, and it actually spins and rotates. And the upper part is for the observation and navigation for the pilots. It has 2 seats in the cockpit, and the one closer to us is the pilot seat, and the one on the top is the pilot seat, and this one here in the front is actually for the operator of the weaponry. So it can fire a missile from above, and you can see that it has the 30 millimeter machine gun here. So this is the helicopter mounted machine gun, and it's using an external source of power, and it's very powerful. And it's one mainstream weapon that is mounted on helicopters. So we have Apache helicopter, we have other uh, fighting arms here, and I believe that this is the largest outdoor exhibition zone for the Dubai Air Show, and you can see some of the leading weaponry here. We have a military purpose emergency rescue helicopter, and this is actually do use both civil and military. For military rescue, it has a specific configuration, and to this side we have a EDGE, which is the largest military and industrial enterprise in UAE. And here at this exhibition zone, it's demonstrating mainly some of the large caliber weapons, and the UAE wants to become independent in terms of design, massive production and assembly of military equipment so that it can support its own defense industry. So it doesn't want to rely on imports for all the weapons. But UAE has great manufacturing capacity in terms of ammunitions and missiles. Take a look at this one. So this is originally imported from overseas, but then it's carried out researches on top of that. And right now, it can be recognized as a self-made missile, and it's semi-autonomous, laser navigated. It's also fully autonomous. And right now, UAE is not just importing technology from overseas; it has accumulated tremendous capability here at home. So we have ammunitions and we have weaponry of uh, UAE that is produced here at home. And to your observation, other countries, Saudi Arabia and Israel, those countries they have been developing their own weaponry and their own equipment. What are they doing currently in terms of progress? In UAE, for example, it wants to become one of the leading animation providers in the Gulf region. And we have Oman, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. And those countries are working closely together to this end. And these countries, they are purchasing ammunitions from UAE. And this one, for example, is F-16E, which is a multi-purpose fighter that is from the Air Force of UAE. And it has a nickname, which is Desert. So in UAE, it has a nickname of Snake on a Desert, and it's the most advanced fighter jet in the F-16 series. To tell you a small story, a couple of years ago, they signed an order or a deal of 80 such fighters between UAE and Lockheed Martin. And there was much regret on the side of the US. Why? Because this one is much better than the F-16s armed in the US military. So that is why they only signed a deal of 18. So that is why uh, the United States refused the additional orders of UAE for these aircrafts. It has a radar that is mounted at the very top of the radome. So this is a very advanced radar, and this is the same type of radar used at F-22. It also has two oil tanks, one on the left and one on the right. And this is the active phased array radar, and this is the same radar used on F-22. It has two oil tanks together. They give you a oil capacity of 1,300 liters, and that can extend the fighting range by 30 to 50%. So that is to say that it has a fighting range or capacity of 1,500 kilometers, square kilometers. I mean, so that is why it's much favored by many countries in the whole world. And we talked about the military strategy of UAE and other Gulf countries, and which is to keep off their enemy outside their territory. Will these aircraft meet the purpose for UAE? So this is the defensive weapon in UAE. It has a very large combating uh, diameter, so it can serve both strategic purposes and tactic purposes because it has a very large operational radius of action, and it has blizzard, and it also has desert snake, and after much liberation it has chosen F-16 from Rocket Martin. And right now UAE has the intention of purchasing more blizzard fighter jets. So we saw all types of fighter jets. And apart from F-16, we found that 5, 8, 10 years ago, it's mainly purchased U.S. Weapons. But in recent years, it's diversifying its procurement portfolio. F-16 is definitely a U.S. weapon, and but we also have, for example, here Phantom 2000, which is a France-made fighter jet, which is now um, equipping the UAE army. So if you purchase from European countries, Phantom 2000, they don't have a lot of conditions attached, and it has many different configurations. For example, Phantom 2000, 2005, and 2009, and it is very much focusing on air-to-ground combating capacity. Take a look at the external pods, and it's carrying so many missiles, and we have a extended range navigated missile. We have auxiliary oil tank, fuel tank, which can increase the mileage of the aircraft. It is also able to support air-to-air combat. So between Phantom 2000 and the F-16, I think these two aircraft can work together. The viewers of CMG, thank you for staying tuned. So between 13th and 17th of November, the 18th Dubai Airshow is on display, and we're gonna take you more, bring you more about the Chinese exhibitors at the Airshow. We are right now standing in front of a booth of a company and that is headquartered in Shenzhen. You can see that it has a lot of UAV products. And now I will hand it over to the general manager of the company who will give us more introduction about their products. So can you tell us more about your products? You can see that this is the different configurations of our UAV. And this one we call it 6407. This is a thermal imagery camera. And this is the wide angle camera. It can spot visible photovoltaics. And this one, for example, it can carry different parts, and this is the camera. It's removable, and you can remove it from the UAV. And this one is a loudspeaker, and when you are talking about the emergency scenario, you can shout out loud for those crowds and groups. So this is just a loudspeaker, and this is a night view. This is a night view sensor, and you can uh, spot the crowd, and you can also talk to them with this loudspeaker. And so this is very simple configuration, and you can remove this and then put this on, and it's super speedy, and it's fixed by the screws. And this is the standard configuration. We have actually other parts supported with this aircraft. And this can be used for rescue purposes, emergency rescue. And you can see that this part can replace the lights here. And this one is a sensor for night view. Welcome back to our program on the Dubai Air Show between 13th and 17th of November. The 18th Dubai International Air Show is on display, and right now we are in front of a booth of an enterprise that is headquartered in Shenzhen, and this enterprise actually produces UAV. Let me hand it over to the general manager of the company, who will give us more introduction of their product. So this is our control console. You can see that this is a UAV. We have a control console that is able to show the imagery viewed by the camera mounted on this UAV. And we have a wide angle camera. We also have a photovoltaic camera. And this UAV can be used in emergency rescue scenarios and also firefighting. We actually have a real project, a product displayed here, and we applied in multiple scenarios. For example, emergency management, routine patrols, and rescue missions. So in different scenarios, we can play a role. So this is the patrol of pipes and oil field. We are able to routinely inspect and check those pipelines and different components in the oil field. And we also have a fixed wing UAV that is supporting vertical takeoff and landing. And at the consumer level, we also have some products. This one, for example, is the fixed wing UAV. It has a flight speed of 100 kilometers per hour. And this one is able to support massive inspections and checks in the sky, and it can also be used in the agricultural scenario. And this one supports vertical takeoff and landing. You can see that this one can rotate, so it can take off vertically, which means that you don't need to have a runway or tarmac to support the takeoff. When you have a runway, this is the angle that you need to ensure. And so this is saving a lot of energy for takeoff. So this is the real product. This is not the model or a miniature, and all the products that we display here are the real thing. So this is the external pod, and this is a camera, and we call it the cloud platform. It has a 20 it has a camera that supports 20 times of optical zoom. And during the Sichuan earthquake, our UAV played a very important role because we are able to identify those who got dispersed from a crowd. So we have a optical camera that is mounted on this UAV, and this one is able to carry goods up to 10 kilos. We can transport some emergency supplies to the disaster-stricken area, but we haven't shipped this product into maybe December. So this is a new product. So these are all the products that we have brought to the Dubai Air Show. So what is our next stop? We're gonna check out another company from Shenzhen, which is right here. So say hello to our viewers, please. It's a great pleasure meeting you here online. I'm right now at Dubai, and this is Siphon Technology, which is the name of our company. So right now, UAV is becoming more and more popular. So that is why Skywind has rolled out a product that is fighting against UAVs. For example, in Middle East countries, they have a lot of oil refinery plants which are very immune to attacks of UAVs. So that is why we brought our product. So we demonstrate our solutions to customers from around the world because this can fight against the UAVs who aim at exploding or bombing your oil field. With this, you will be able to know the exact position of the UAVs flying or approaching your airspace, and we can show the frequency information, the altitude information, and speed information of the UAV. And this is the radar we are using. So we can support real-time risk control and warning. When we identify a intruding UAV, so what do we do? We have two weapons fighting against the UAV, and this is like a gun. This is weighing 4.5 kilos. So this is the weight of one bag of rice, and it's not light, I can tell you. Is she holding the right angle or pointing the right direction? Yes, she is. So this is where you need to point. This is we have a switch here, and you need to put it on your shoulder. This is the transmitter. So why don't you give us a demo? So this is how you carry this weapon. Once you identify an intruding UAV, you can switch on with no time at all, and you can intervene. And with this panel, you can know where the UAV is. You just need to point the UAV because within, if it's more than 300 meters away, you won't be able to see that with your naked eyes, but we can still see that on our iPad, so you can see where the UAV is. So this gun has a capacity of 1.5 kilometers, but this one here has the distance capacity of more than 3 kilometers, and it's much heavier. So this is a lot heavier, but this is more professional. You can intervene and shut down an UAV. So we have a trigger here, and you can actually um, so trigger on this machine, and so the signal comes out from this direction, and it will capture the UAV. So this is a lot heavier. So this one supports reconnaissance and attacks. So through this screen, you can see the real-time position of the UAV. And wow, did I just switch that on? So from the screen, you will be able to know the real-time information of the UAV, its frequency, flight altitude, and speed. And Mr. Wang actually has been carrying this for me, and this is truly heavy. Well, let me give it back to you. So what is this bag for? So this is our secret weapon. So in some of the scenarios, you would have to not only cut off the signal of the UAV, but also control and capture the UAV. So you need to intervene its GPS signal, you need to seduce the drone to land in a specific position. And working in combination with this machine gun or this optical gun, signal gun, you can truly capture. You can check and control and capture and obtain the UAV that is intruding your airspace. Well, this is truly marvelous. What is this for? So this can be handheld, and this can be mounted on your special vest. So this is actually very portable. Uh, we have to use that in association with the C9 pad, and we can collect information here. And this one is just like the radar that you can carry on your shoulder. And the viewers of CMG. Well, I have been checking the comments that you left below, and many of the viewers are seeing that, so they can't wait to travel personally to Dubai. And today, through our program, I think we have shown you a tiny tip of the iceberg. And well, let me ask you, Mr. Lee, what is your general observation? Well, this is very crowded, and our signal has been cut off by by the big crowd, I assume, several times. So this is the 18th Dubai Air Show, and we have attracted more than 1,400 exhibitors from more than 90 countries, and you can see that we have quite a number of Chinese enterprises exhibiting their products here, and they have gained traction and popularity in this air show. We have indoor exhibitions, we also have outdoor exhibitions. So, Mr. Lee, uh, I heard that there is an air show outside, and I can already hear that. And there is an air show that is going on right now. And as I have been saying throughout this program, that we have one big moment, and that is awaiting you, which is the flight performance of the PLA August 1st flight team. Well, this is actually a video that we filmed prior to this program, and at the end of this program, we're gonna play that clip so you can take a look at our own flight.